during this Lenten season, we are called upon to conversion. And without listening, we cannot make proper conversion or really be able to have that spirit of converting. And so, even as we pray for baby Tamara, let us get prepared as well. God can call you anytime. And suppose he calls me, how prepared am I? So today we are told that for us to make proper conversion, we have to be people who are listening. But like I told you some days back, the world we are living in is a world whereby a lot of noise is going around. You leave this church, whether it is noise from machineries, whether it is noise from whatever, a lot of noise we'll be hearing. You go to your room, you sit down, a lot of noise from within and from without. You're thinking of your child who maybe you've not completed school fees for him or her, and soon he or she will be sent back home. You are thinking of the disagreements between you and your spouse. You are thinking of your neighbor who maybe you are not living well with, and so no peace at all. You are thinking of the rent that you've not paid, and so all is not well with you. Probably 2-3 months you've not submitted your rent. And so even when you come to church like this, a lot of things, someone is just thinking, Father, when will he finish preaching so that I go back home and fulfill my duties and activities? And so today we are reminded that we have to listen. Listen. A lot of noise, call it same-sex marriage, call it hard economic times that we are facing, call it politics, many things going on. But then we are called listen. Listen to God speaking to you. Listen so that you may come out during this Lenten season someone who is not to be called Gomorrah and Sodom, but a converted person who is worthy to stand before the Lord, who can say that indeed this Lenten season has brought fulfillment to me. But then this is a call upon us that we may be able to listen even to those whom we think are destitute, those whom we think are nothing to us, for us to be able to help them as well. You may find someone out here, he can buy things for friends, to friends. Call it food, or de to katamana, jawde pokunone no katamana handkerchief. Nyasaye ber. Katamana handkerchief pokunote mango, pokunone no oko kata ngwon ndi. Ngwon ba onyalo keto gimara mara ma ji dwaro ke ni chiemo, eni ng'at makataka ji golo pesa tene namba wane golo pesa. Lakini ode to charity no knen. We say that charity begins at home, isn't it? Yes, that charity that we are seeing out there, may we see it especially during this Lenten season, even in your house. That is why in the gospel reading, Christ is telling us that let us not be like the Pharisees and the scribes. Out there, they are good. Out there, they are commanding. Out there, they are sitting in front of people. But deep within themselves, nothing at all. Whatever they are saying, they are not practicing. We pray. Speaking is always easier than doing. We pray in this Eucharistic celebration, we may be able to listen. And having listened, the graces of God may come within us so that we may practice what we are talking about. What we are preaching, we may be able to practice. Because the reading is finishing by saying that the greatest among you shall be servant, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. If I want to be raised up, let me be able to lower myself. And lowering myself calls upon me to listen. How can you know and you've not listened? So let us be able to listen so that we may properly know what that person wanted to say. Sometimes I want myself to be understood and not to understand the other. That one is also bringing disagreement in the houses. Yesterday I was reading something, and one of the things that the writer of that article was saying, that one of the things that people should try to put so that you may have a happy marriage or a happy family is listening to one another. Communication. Communication is power. Information is power. Without listening and understanding the other, striving and agitating that I should be understood before I understand the other, sometimes will bring about disruption. We pray that we may have the spirit of listening, and more especially listening to the other in order to understand the other. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.